October 14th, 9:41 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Hey, Nick! What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why didn't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atmy's trial today. Detective Atmy? They say they're going to try him as Master Mask. Already? That was fast. Boy, I'd love to see Master Mask's trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me! Oh, Mr. Delight! Good morning. No one likes me. No one would notice me even if I killed someone. Come on, don't be silly. But wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No! I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. And now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of second plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists. Do you think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick? It's possible. Today's trial is in a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. I'm afraid that's not an option. The way I think it's happening is I think Ron's actually lying about going to KB. But the thing is, how does he know that someone hit him then? Unless, of course, because this is the way I think it happened. And there is a lot of contradictions here, most likely, but I think it happened in this way. He got a blackmail thing, and maybe it didn't actually say the date on it, I think. I'm not completely sure on that. But maybe the blackmail thing was for ages ago. I don't know. I don't know if there was a date on it or not. But I think it was from Atmy, and Atmy knew it was him because Ace Detective kind of thing. And it's like, if you steal this, I will not tell on you, and we share the money or something. I don't know. And then Atmy decided he wanted to kill someone because that person was in charge of the security thing that was close to catching Ron, maybe? So Atmy decided to have him killed and used Ron as just, I guess you could say, what do they call it? Distraction, I guess? I don't know, but that's the way I'm thinking it happened. I think Atmy was actually at KB, Ron was, stealing the urn, and while Atmy didn't know, while no one knew Atmy was there, he probably left somehow, like maybe through the door or whatever. I don't know if there's an extra entrance or something like that, but maybe he went out, left the door open so Ron could come in and get the urn. I just don't know what happened to the Shichishoka or whatever it's called, the sword. I don't know how it got bent. That's something I need to really clear up, because if Atmy's actually demasked, or at least Ron's demasked and Atmy's a co-conspirator, who got hit then? Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge for the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's got the judge in the palm of his hands yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Huh, then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That is all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes, well, then let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 AM on the morning of 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 AM of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. He's already here, I guess. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness. Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Huh. You've got guts, Trite. Alright then, Mr. Rondelight, please take the stand. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No, that's not true. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making. And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his coffin. Or the last drip into his coffee. Huh, very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to the KB security? Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Why does the line keep on going dark once it gets to the end of the third line? That's weird. Let's see what happened. My visit to KB security. That evening, around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB security. He didn't do it this time. What the hell? The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 AM, the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. Huh, it's bitter today too, just like my destiny. You'd never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. Alright, let's do some pressing. There's only 3 of them, so I need more. "1 AM, huh? You're absolutely sure about that?" "Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's room." No. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow, and my internal clock was also a bit. 1 AM, that's the exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct? It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters? Oh, of course. That say things like, steal this or take that. Why did you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? Press harder. So, what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? Perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh, is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. Huh. A muddy mudskipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Just what were you being blackmailed anyway? The blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct. I'm sure it was referring to the whole Nasty Mask thing. I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me. He didn't? Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me, just as long as Desi believes in me. So that's why Mr. Light didn't believe he was Nasty Mask. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. I've been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief? You? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge, a perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Why was he fired? Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I'd never asked that. Okay, then I take it back. The Defendant, please answer the question. Well, I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Desi loves to spend. It's kind of a hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the computer. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. Since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately. I wish I'd never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it a secret and made it seem like I'd quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your computer, company, is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. Alright, you fired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know about that. Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby, what else? Wasting money, huh? It's not a waste! So Mr. Light doesn't know that her husband was fired. So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. I can't believe it. This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples. Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright. There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least, that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. We'd better be careful. But if we don't find another way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. That evening, okay then. So... But what would have happened if Desiree found out? That would be enough for blackmail, wouldn't it? Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match with what you told me earlier. Huh? What isn't? I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out about your secret. A certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. Listen to me, my Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Godot. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. No, everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or you will be sorry! Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. Drink your coffee. That motive is clear. Let's move on, shall we? Ugh. What happened to the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said the Master Mars struck him on the head from behind. Of course. Oh, maybe he brought the sword with him to hit him on the head. Of course, since Acme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Huh. No one's gonna believe a pathetic lie like that. Well, what are you saying? I really was attacked. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Wright? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Who was this suspicious shadow? If there were 1,000 of me, and if even one knew, I'd tell you, trust me. He's dodging all of our questions. Is not helping us. Well, okay, then how was the victim Mr. Billard at the time? What do you mean by how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Forget it. Alright, suddenly I was hit in the forehead. After that I remember being dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. Wearing what? That? Could you please clarify what you were referring to? Why, my Mask Mask costume, of course. Wait just a moment! Mask Mask? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Mask Mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of Keybase Security. What? Nick, did you know about this? You never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. Seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's not right. You'd know how sometimes things just slip your mind. Huh. My 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my Mask Mask costume. Why were you dressed up as Mask Mask? Why? It was a Mask Mask, of course. What are you talking about? Mask Mask trial is being held next door. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at the time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Mask Mask issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I expected. It took a lot longer? What is he talking about? Press harder. What do you mean by it took a lot longer? Opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Billard's body. What was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hid the body in the safe? Well, yeah. Inconceivable. Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean that Mr. Delight hit the body because he's the murderer? So you're not as stupid as you look. His metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you? Well, yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to your testimony. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm front is moving in over the fair weather, Judge. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. Objection! Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, the security team is supposed to come running. In accordance to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02. If Mr. Ron Delight truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as the buzzer sounded. After all, the security guard would have been heading his way. Ha! Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there was security personnel in the building. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. But as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser, who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend, and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity, was not something Mr. Delight could have known. Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off. The buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Fine. Let's hear your theory. Remember the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted. That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had the time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. Delight was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, whoever it was knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed Cain Ballard. And who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away, he must have held on long enough to push that button. So Cain Ballard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Cain Ballard who sounded the buzzer? I think I can. The defense's opinion is this. Your Honor, this piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. There are no fingerprints on it. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give it some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself a clue. No, I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind. But didn't he wear gloves? Ron Delight obviously wiped them off. Why would he? The guard could have come any moment. He touched the button, I know he did. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Master Mask. And Master Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Order, order, order! It would seem I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. They're onto you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 AM. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place. The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed, security was supposed to respond. Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. You've got some guts. I like that in any opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? Yeah, to call the security guard. The killer knew that if they pressed the button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say that the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes, although as it turned out he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. Huh, what a touching story. You're saying that the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No, I'm not. What that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Cain Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for the murder. It would seem I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, right? Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're gonna drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Cain Bullard. Now then. Let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Cain Bullard? It was... you! Detective Luke Atme. He's the one and who could have done it. Ace Detective Luke Atme? You mean Master Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Mask Mask at all. He is in actuality the true murderer of Cain Bullard. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder, which is the more serious crime. They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday if you would. When Luke Atme confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, the famous detective was unmasked, as well as Master Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. Well, that was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Mask Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Luke Atme's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. A guilty verdict as an alibi? Interesting. You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Atme's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atme's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. July would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? A bet's only good when your life's the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you! Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you! Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice, it sounds like... Mia! Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. Huh. So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. The court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atme to your stand. Yes, Your Honor. Ooh! Well, Sir Detective Atme. Oh, this is the other trial. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atme. You are the one who... That's enough! The court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. The court finds the defendant Luke Atme. Hold it. Wait, don't hand down your verdict yet, please. Well, well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. Who's this hoser here? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. I wish to file an accusation against this man. Look at me. Accusation? You accused Master Mask? That man is not Maskedy Mask. He is just a ruthless murderer. You're not out of it yet. I wonder who the lawyer for that was. October 14th, 12:14 PM, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 4. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then she's still alive, inside your heart. Nigga boy! Oh, Mr. Light, is it true the detective is really the killer? To be honest, we don't have any definitive proof, but he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. It's gotta happen sooner rather than later.